Andrew Moran on episode 3 of Think Liberty. Today I'll be discussing 3 issues from around the world, including Trump's recent comments to cops, the European Union trying to freeze bank account withdrawals to prevent bank runs, and this idea that libertarians are somehow Nazis. So first, in a recent speech to police in New York, in the state of New York, President Donald Trump told police officers that he suggests that they should rough up suspects. He said that he believes that cops shouldn't hold down a suspect's head when the police officer puts them into a police vehicle. Now, this completely forgoes the concept of innocence until proven guilty. In fact, it transitions to a world of guilty until you're proven innocent. Now, the justice system is meant to protect the innocent. It is meant to ensure that you have all your rights, that you are innocent until you're proven guilty, and that you are given the benefit of the doubt. If somehow you you encourage police brutality, then it's going to inevitably lead to cops committing violence against suspects. Now, it was later said that he was joking, but many police officers, according to various statements, are upset with the president over those remarks. That is something that should never be embraced, and everyone should always be given the benefit of the doubt, no matter how much evidence is stacked against you. Until you are found guilty in a court of law, you should be given every single constitutional right. The second issue is, according to a report from Reuters citing various European Union documents, the European Union is considering allowing member states to freeze bank account withdrawals to prevent bank runs in the event that a financial institution either fails or is on the brink of failing. This is a very dangerous measure that could be implemented by the trade bloc. If a bank is on the verge of failure, then somehow a person wouldn't be able to get access to their money. The EU suggests that they may establish a certain amount that everyone can withdraw, but aside from that, they would no longer have access to the money that they've accumulated over the years. Critics are already suggesting that it's a terrible idea. One of the reasons is that if there's even a sign that a bank is in trouble, whether a report says a bank is letting go 15,000 employees, or they're establishing negative interest rates, whatever the case, anything that suggests that a bank is in trouble, people would start withdrawing all of their cash out of the bank, and that's when a bank will definitely experience some sort of collapse. So this is one of the reasons why there should be a Brexit, there should be a Talexit, there should be a Nexit, there should be a Frexit, why the entire European Union should be demolished. And inevitably it will, whether it's through these various exits that are occurring, or whether it's through a collapse of the euro, or whether it's through every nation just crumbling under the weight of the European Union. So there should be some pushback among various countries. There should be pushback by France. There should be pushback by the Netherlands. But considering all the leadership that happens in the European Union, in the European continent, it's likely that the measure will be widely supported. The final issue I'd like to discuss has to do with infighting within the libertarian movement. Tom Woods, in a newsletter to his subscribers, said that some people are accusing Jeff Deist of the Mises Institute of delivering a Nazi speech. Now, Jeff Deist is one of the most prolific libertarians right now in the United States. He's anti-war. He's pro-free markets. He wants limited government. He's the epitome of libertarianism. He was the chief of staff of Ron Paul's presidential campaign, I think in 2008 and 2012. Someone correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. To suggest that libertarianism equates to Nazism, it suggests your ignorance and a lack of understanding what libertarianism means. Okay, so similar to what Jeff Deist espouses, libertarianism is anti-war. It promotes the non-aggression principle. It wants free markets. It wants you to have freedom, the freedom to choose, the freedom to try, the freedom to fail. Freedom is the most important aspect of the libertarian movement. To say that it's in line with Hermann Goering or Joseph Goebbels or Adolf Hitler, it's mind-numbing and befuddling. There's a great book that I recently finished. It's called Hitler's Beneficiaries by Götz Alai. It's an incredible look at Nazi economics that occurred within Germany and all the occupied countries. It showed the heavy taxation. It showed the confiscation of property when it was politically expedient. It showed the plundering of occupied nations. How the German troops would go into these occupied countries, and they would have the exchange rate that would benefit the Reichsmarks, and they would take all of the goods that were manufactured or sold in these countries and bring it back to Germany. In the event there was a bombing in parts of Germany, the German leadership, they would confiscate property from the Jews, and whether it's a bed, whether it's a sofa, whether it's a chair, and they would give it to these Germans, these Aryan Germans who suffered from an airstrike and didn't have any furniture. There are other cases where the Nazi government, they would confiscate jewelry, gold, whatever the case. And there would be these auctions occurring in various cities across Germany, and these people would go and consumers would go and buy this jewelry, any property, any fur coats, for instance. So that is Nazism in itself. Price controls, production quotas, nationalization of state eventually. You could even argue that at the beginning of Nazis, the government already nationalized state by telling all the businesses what to do. So it is really frustrating to read that there are actually some people who think libertarianism is similar to Nazism. Nazism banned speech. Nazism was socialism. Nazism was all about war and combat and racism. What libertarian espouses those principles? None of them. So Tom Woods was frustrated. According to his newsletter, he sent 2 in a matter of 24 hours. Jeff Deist is not a Nazi. He's a great speaker. He's a great leader of the Mises Institute. So are many of the leaders at the Mises Institute. Whether it's Lou Rockwell, whether it's Tom Woods, Robert Murphy, Joseph Salerno, and I'm probably omitting various names, but the entire institution is fantastic. It's a great think tank. It doesn't take government money. It doesn't take money from corporations like all these other think tanks do, like the Brookings Institute. So libertarianism is not Nazism. All right. So this is it for episode 3 of Think Liberty. Stay tuned for episode 4 in the coming weeks. Thank you very much. Enjoy your day.